to 80% in 2019. Again, here in Tanzania, transition from primary to lower secondary improved significantly from 67% in 2016 to 78% today. This is an important achievement. However, we can and must build on this progress and increase the quality and duration of learning so that young people are skilled and equipped to take advantages of today's and tomorrow's jobs and create opportunities for themselves and others. Many African countries have implemented policies aimed at promoting job creation and entrepreneurship among young people. The Africa Union Agenda 2063 includes a goal of creating 100 million jobs for young people by 2025. Let us all strive to turn this aspiration into a reality. To achieve this work, let us work together to overcome the human capital challenges and reap the demographic dividend, which presents, once again, a unique opportunity for Africa to harness the infinite potential of its young population. I would like to conclude by emphasizing yet again how proud we are in the World Bank to be supporting this first African Human Capital Summit under the leadership of Her Excellency President Samia, as this is an important milestone on this journey. I would also like to take this opportunity to recognize the delegation of the government of Tanzania to the World Bank IMF spring meetings, in which they made a passionate plea for advancing human capital and achieving all development goals for Tanzania and its African partners. It marks a new and more ambitious phase to accelerate progress on unlocking the full potential of Africa's youth and paving the way for sustained economic growth and transformation. The time to act is now. Thank you very much. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nathan Belete, Country Director, World Bank, Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. So now we're going to have two consecutive video messages. One is from Ms. Victoria Kwakwa, World Bank Vice President, East and Southern Africa. And the next one, which will be back-to-back, will be from Mr. Usmani Diagana, World Bank Vice President, Central and West Africa. Please, can you play the videos?
Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable President Samia, Usman and I are excited to join you today from Washington, D.C. The Africa Heads of State Summit on Human Capital comes at a critical time. Overlapping global challenges have reversed decades of progress in human capital outcomes, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. We must act now. Prioritizing investments in people has never been more important. This is especially true for women and girls. Healthier, better educated women and girls have healthier, better educated families, not least because women tend to invest more of their incomes in their children. Equipping women with skills and helping connect people to opportunities will raise living standards and break the cycle of poverty, while spurring broader economic development. As technology is driving transformation in the world, we must equip the workforce with relevant education and skills so that everyone has the opportunity to succeed. In fact, it is estimated that 230 million jobs in Africa will require digital skills by 2030. Closing the gender-digital divide will be critical, as women in many countries are underrepresented in access to digital technologies. While the task at hand seems daunting, I'm optimistic because we have seen progress across the continent, even in the face of multiple adversities. We have the opportunity now, and we must seize it by making smart and effective investments in Africa's greatest resource, its people. I'm looking forward to the summit where we'll agree on concrete actions that will lay the groundwork for Africa's vibrant youth, women, and girls to achieve their full potential.
Victoria, I share your view your sense of concern and urgency, but also optimism. The innovative spirit of our young people are our best assets and hold great promise for our region. But we'll only be able to harness the demographic dividend if youth are equipped with the necessary knowledge and skills to realize their full potential. In West and Central Africa, countries face huge challenges for human capital accumulation. This region has the lowest human capital index rating among the World Bank 7 regions. Education systems are in crisis, with an 80% of children under 10 unable to reach a simple text, what we call learning poverty. Conflict setting affects service delivery in many of our countries. The region hosts 7.3 million of refugees and 23 million internally displaced people. But the region also has one of the largest return on education. Achieving universal basic education would translate into a 2.2 times high GDP per capita. Despite the challenges, countries are innovating and getting results. For example, in Nigeria, the Better Education Service Delivery for All program is partnering with religious schools to introduce basic literacy and numeracy for Almajiri students, which forms the largest portion of out-of-school children in the population. For this reason, our regional strategy seeks to reduce learning poverty, increase girls' secondary education enrollment, and strengthen higher education system to produce more employable graduates. But we will not be able to deliver change without building political momentum in the region. For this reason, this summit will be vital for ensuring that countries accelerate investment in people and ensure a better future for all. Let's invest in the future generation today to transform Africa.
With that, thank you, and we look forward to seeing you at the summit. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable President Samia.
Well, that was interesting. Thank you very much. That was Ms. Victoria Kwakwa, World Bank Vice President, East and Southern Africa. And you also heard Mr. Osmani Diagana, World Bank Vice President, Central and West Africa. So before I welcome the Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, let's have a little bit of entertainment. We look a little bit sad. So, and Mpoto is very good in entertaining. Karibu sana Mrisho Mpoto with his theater group. Karibuni sana.
Afrika na watoto wake, vijana na wanawake. Afrika na watoto wake, vijana na wanawake.
Kuongeza tija kwa vijana kwa kuboresha mafunzo na ujuzi ili kuharakisha ukuaji wa uchumi wa Afrika.
Afrika na watoto wake, vijana na wanawake. Afrika na watoto wake, vijana na wanawake. Tanzania, 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 Mungu ibariki Tanzania. Asante Benki ya Dunia kwa kutuunganisha wana Afrika. Asante Raisi Samia kwa kutuheshimisha wa Tanzania. Asante Benki ya Dunia kwa kutuunganisha wana Afrika. Asante Raisi Samia kwa kutuheshimisha wa Tanzania. Afrika punde itazungumza kwenye ardhi ya Tanzania. Kuhusu muhimu wa kuwekeza katika rasilimali watu, hasa watoto, vijana na wanawake, iwe moja ya nguzo muhimu katika kukuza uchumi na maendeleo ya nchi za Afrika. Asante Benki ya Dunia kwa kutuunganisha wana Afrika. Asante Raisi Samia kwa kutuheshimisha wa Tanzania.
Kuimarisha uhimilivu wa nchi za Afrika katika kukabiliana na majanga. Karibuni Raisi wa nchi za Afrika kushuhudia makubwa ya Tanzania. Karibuni Tanzania.
Asante Benki ya Dunia kwa kutukutanisha wana Afrika. Asante Raisi Samia kwa kutuheshimisha wa Tanzania.
Benki ya Dunia
kwa kutuunganisha wana Afrika. Asante Raisi Samia kwa kutuheshimisha wa Tanzania. Tanzania yasonga mbele, juzi, jana na kesho.
Karibuni mwone mlima mrefu barani Afrika.
Tanzania yasonga mbele, juzi, jana juni, muone visiwa vya marashi ya karafuu Zanzibar. Yasonga mbele, juzi, jana na kesho. Muone kwenye ardhi ya amani na utulivu Tanzania.
Tanzania yasonga mbele,
juzi, jana na kesho. Juzi, jana na kesho. Juzi, jana na kesho. Tanzania yasonga mbele, juzi, jana na kesho. Juzi, jana na kesho. Juzi, jana na kesho.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I did promise they won't disappoint, and I'm sure they didn't. So that's a performance from Mpoto Theatre Gallery Group. So now I'd like to welcome Honorable Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, Minister of Finance and Planning, to welcome the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. Karibu.
Your Excellency, Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Your Excellency, Dr. Shein, the former President of Zanzibar and the former Vice President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Honorable Dr. Stegomena Tax, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Honorable Dr. Sada Mkuya, Minister of State, Finance and Planning, Zanzibar, my fellow ministers here present, both from mainland and Zanzibar, my brother Nathan Belete, the World Bank Group Country Director for Tanzania, Malawi, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, Chairman of the Budget Committee. I've seen my brother, you can rise up. This is my boss when it comes to the matters of the House. Permanent secretaries and all other government officials here present, both for URT, mainland and Zanzibar. Comrade Albert Chalamila, the Regional Commissioner for Dar es Salaam. Representatives from heads of diplomatic mission and international organizations. Representatives from the private sector here in Tanzania. Religious leaders, comrades from the security organs, representatives from civil societies, and all other members of press, ladies and gentlemen, nawasalimu kwa jina la Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. At the outset, I would like to thank the Almighty God for allowing us to meet and witness the official launch of the 2023 Africa Heads of State Human Capital Summit. I personally wish to thank you, Your Excellency, for accepting the host of the Human Capital Summit in July 2023 here in Dar es Salaam. Your acceptance to host signifies your commitment and dedication to the development of human capital, not only here in Tanzania, but Africa and the world at all. Allow me also to express my sincere appreciation to the World Bank for their innovative ideas convening the Africa Heads of State Summit, Human Capital Summit, that will alleviate deliberations on human capital agenda from the technical political level. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Human Capital Summit is an important forum to bring high-level attention to the challenges facing human capital development in Africa caused by various challenges, including financial needs, investment in our people, growing demographic pressure, youth population with limited job opportunities, skill and labor market mismatch, and others. The summit is expected to provide opportunities to the heads of state to discuss and share their experiences on key actions and deliberations on the commitment toward few focus of priority and development of African human capital. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the World Bank Group has been very instrumental in supporting growth of human capital in Africa. I must admit that all of the financial resources that the government has received from the World Bank, a good share that has been allocated is provided to good health and sanitation services, inclusive and quality education, and enhancing youth skills for opportunity and productivity. Through this summit, I believe the World Bank will scale up the support to African countries and attract more development partners to support African states' progress in support for human capital development. Your Excellency, under your leadership, the government has been able to increase investment in health, education, skills, and life opportunities, which compounds to human capital investment. Tanzanian children and youth will always treasure the legacy of prioritizing investment in the people you have done. And finally, let me take this opportunity to welcome you, Your Excellency Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, to officially launch the 2023 Africa Heads of State Human Capital Summit. Karibu sana, Mheshimiwa Rais, kwa unyenyekevu mkubwa.
May we be seated, please? Your Excellency, Dr. Ali Mohamed Shein, the former Vice President and the President of Zanzibar, honorable ministers here present from both parties of the Union, permanent secretaries, the World Bank Country Director, Dr. Nathan Balete, and the members of this World Bank from the headquarters, Excellencies, heads of diplomatic mission and international organizations, representatives from the private sector in Tanzania, representatives from the civil society, government officials, Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner, media personnel, ladies and gentlemen. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. And it doesn't have its English translation. It's just like that. Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you to this auspicious occasion to officially launch the 2023 African Heads of State Human Capital Summit. Your presence here today portrays your strong commitment to the human capital development agenda and your readiness to support African governments. It is therefore a great honor for Tanzania to be given an opportunity. Oh, I forgot to, yeah, I have addressed you. Okay, and so I was saying it is a great honor for Tanzania to be given an opportunity to host this remarkable event that aims at showcasing and sensitizing African heads of state on the importance of investing in human capital for sustainable economic growth in our continent. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the African Heads of State Human Capital Summit 2023, whose theme is Accelerating Africa's Economic Growth, Boosting Youth Productivity by Improving Learning, Skills, and Productivity of Youth. The theme will provide a unique platform, or the summit will provide a unique platform for heads of state to deliberate and share best practices on the role of human capital in driving economic growth and development. Certainly, Africa's human capital endowment is key to the future success, including its potential for economic growth, and indeed, investment in human capital is essential in ensuring people's well-being, enhanced productivity, inclusive economic growth, poverty reduction, and promotion of crisis preparedness and management. And so, the achievement of the Global Sustainable Development Goals cannot be separated from development of human capital. The polycrisis of food and fuel price rise, conflicts, droughts and floods, and COVID-19 have caused huge losses and reduced momentum in the progress made in improving human development outcomes and in building human capital worldwide. Disruptions in essential services have had severe consequences for under 5 and maternal mortality and worsened many people's exposure to diseases. The United Nations has estimated that there would be around, or there was around, 130 million more malnourished children in 2020, and it is further estimated that learning poverty will rise by 10% points to more than 60% in developing countries worldwide, and from 83% to more than 90% in the poorest countries if steps will not be taken now. So these are the staggering statistics that call for urgent holistic and collective interventions. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Africa is trained to enhance its human capital asset. The continent marks the lowest on the average on human capital index among all regions of the world, amplified by the lowest scores of many sub-Saharan African countries, and it is clear that the pandemic, compounded by conflicts, have caused unprecedented disruptions, revealing gaps in our systems and infrastructure that need to be addressed urgently. While our country's appreciated population asset, resulting from improved maternal and child health services across the continent, we are constrained with fiscal challenges for children's development and jobs for our youth, following a huge demographic pressure. United Nations reports show that African countries are still facing challenges in meeting the SDGs related to human capital development, in particular education, health, and social protection. With the exception of North Africa, target indicators for other African countries on ensuring quality education stands below the global average levels. Maternal mortality ratios are still high. Availability and sustainability of management of water and sanitation remains a challenge. Progress towards gender inclusivity is slow, and the enforcement of legal frameworks to protect women and girls against discrimination, domestic violence and child marriage, and female genital mutilation remains weak. In overall, progress made by Africa under respective SDGs is unsatisfactory and indicates the risk of not being able to attain the goals by the target year 2030. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, flashing back to our Agenda 2063, Africa has centered human capital development as one of the key flagship themes, with a focus on improving access to contribute to education and healthcare for all, promoting gender equality and women's empowerment, and building the necessary skills to competencies required for the continent's growth and transformation. African Union has targeted to increase the percentage of African children enrolled in pre-primary education to at least 70% by 2025, while also prioritizing investments in higher education, technical and vocational training programs. The moment is now for us to hasten the pace to ensure we realize these goals. Here to affirm that we in Tanzania has already taken off. We have taken various steps to implement the SDGs. So we are now gaining momentum in implementation. All we need is being supported for our journey to prosperity to be safer and smooth, and to make sure that we are landing on the implementation of the SDGs. We are going to give detailed information during the summit in July. But all I have to say is in Tanzania, human capital development has been our priority goals in all our development plans. So we are not as bad as the situation is explained in various reports. we have done a tremendous job, and we are continuing. We need support for us to be able to go smoothly and gently. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are called upon to take immediate measures to address the potential population challenges by immensely investing in our people's health, including water and sanitation, and quality education with proper and necessary skills for human capital development. Our policies should dwell around improving the quality and ability of our people with a special focus on human capital development. African leaders don't want to say should begin to think, but should continue to implement investing in African people, focusing on youth and women. And it is in this connection or context that I'm pleased to announce that the 2023 Human Capital Heads of State Summit, jointly hosted by the government of the United Republic of Tanzania and the World Bank, will be held in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, from 25th to 26th July this year, 2023, and right here at the Julius Nyerere International Convention Center. The journey to the summit starts now, and I urge you, all of you, to save the date for this important event. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, once again, I thank you for your participation in this official launch of the summit and encourage all of you to participate in the upcoming Human Capital Summit. You are cordially welcome to the United Republic of Tanzania, the land of Kilimanjaro, Ngorongoro, Serengeti, and Zanzibar. I thank you for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And now it's the time that everybody was waiting for, the official launch of the Africa Human Capital Heads of State Summit, and it's happening with a style. So, can you all sit down, please? The rest of our guests, can you kindly sit down, please? Because we would like to see this. Honorable ministers, can you kindly sit, please? Thank you. So that you can all see what's happening. So, we're going to have a countdown. 3, So now it has been officially launched. Thank you very much, Madam President. Thank you very much, invited guest. And now this is the end of our program. Can we allow the President to leave for other duties? Karibuni sana, asanteni sana.